Hello everyone and welcome to another video from me. Today is something completely different from the regular 1:24 scale because I'm going for the much smaller scale, the 1:64, and show you a miniature, let's call it a diorama background, which I have bought, and they're calling it miniature scene by Model Art, and that's because they have different scenes where you can display your car models onto. Depending on what you choose. I bought this from AliExpress. I will be leaving a link into this video's description below so that you can see the different type of scenes that they have. Another side, and from the barcode label at the bottom, we can clearly see that this is for 1:64 scale. Let's open it up. This is exactly as I have received it, pegged. And you can see that I have chosen the 7-Eleven one. And that's because last year when we were in Japan, I must say that I visited a 7-Eleven shop every day. Lots of goodies, lots of good drinks to buy from them. And so I wanted a miniature reminder of the nice days that we have spent over there. We can see some details over here, and especially we can see some posters, stickers attached to the windows, and then on the back there is also other pictures of the shop from the internal, and they create the illusion of a 3D illusion that you are seeing a much deeper shop, a much deeper diorama, when in fact this is just this depth. Very nice indeed. From the cable you can also see that this switches on, so we'll take a look at that also very soon. We have some double-sided tape, also round tape, 6 of them. I'm not exactly sure why their purpose, however, I'm guessing nothing more. I'm guessing that they are so that you can attach the wall, the facade, to the pavement, because as you can see there are no pins or clips to attach it. However, it is quite heavy, so it can also rest by itself. Maybe you can also use them for the bottom of this to keep it from sliding. And on the bottom we can see that there is also the pavement with the yellow line, a bicycle lane, and also a lane so that you can park your 1:64 scale cars. Very nice indeed. So that rests over there. Okay, you can also add some pedestrians in 1:64. The sky's the limit when it comes to making it as realistic as possible for you. Let me show you how it looks also, inclined towards the camera. And now let's connect it to a USB source and see the way that it actually switches on. So I have connected it. Boom! And right away we have also the switch, so that we can switch it on and off from the switch. You don't have to plug it from the USB. And very nice. Let me switch off the bench light so that you can see maybe even better. However, there's a lot of glare from the 7-Eleven sign. But yes, you get the idea of the depth that is being shown into the shop. I will take some photos when I'm done so that we can also see what type of photos can be taken. There we go. What type of photos can be taken when you place 1:64 cars onto it. And speaking of Japan, with me I brought these two 1:64 cars. I still haven't assembled them, although they are quite easy to assemble. However, that's something which still I didn't do. So let's do it right now. These were bought from the Gashapon machines, where you throw the coins and they give you a nice present. These are the only two cars that I managed to find in 1:64 scale. I think there were more cars in 1:72 scale, which is not a scale which I particularly collect. So these are the two cars that I actually bought in 1:64 scale from those addictive machines. And as you can see, one of them is the Mazda Speed version. There we go, the Miata, the MX-5. And the other one is the tiny Suzuki Alto Works. Let's assemble them quickly, and then we can see how they look on the diorama. And there we go, we can see that the cars are very easily assembled, beginning with the Mazda Miata, Mazda Speed version. We can see that the lower lip spoiler on the front also. And I must say that for a 1:64 it is quite detailed, very detailed indeed, especially the interior. Look at that interior with a separate steering wheel, different colors. The seats are also separate, it's not part of the interior. Very, very detailed for a 1:64 scale. The wheels could use an upgrade. Shouldn't be a problem to modify in the future. I decided to leave it with the roof off for a more sporty look. And the front wheels are also separately steerable. Very nice. The Suzuki Alto is also interesting, with separate lights for the front, as you could see me assemble. Very nice. Full interior, although the windows are a bit frosted, so it's not much visible. However, the interior is all there. Decals, stickers, everything. Quite a cute little Alto. Very nice. So with the cars also assembled, it's time to bring back the diorama, the background scene. Place the cars onto the tarmac piece. Switch it on. And I think from this view, very nice indeed. And I'm going to take some pictures to see how realistic photos can turn out of 1:64 cars sitting onto this type of background diorama, which is also more realistic because of the lighting and the 3D effect that I've shown before. Let me know in the comments below what's your opinion, what do you think? I think that it is quite a fun way to display 1:64 cars. You can even maybe fit, this is a small one, like this you'll manage to fit 3 cars. I think that getting them closer, you'll also be able to fit 3 different cars on this type of diorama. And speaking of that thing, I can tell you that it is 20 centimeters long and 11.5 centimeter wide, so that you can get to know if you're interested in buying. And the cars section is 4 centimeters wide. Okay, so that is all from me. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you all into my next video.